Well, alright everybody, welcome back to another edition here of SmackDown. How are y'all doing? My name is Dominic, of course, and this is the final episode of SmackDown before the King of the Ring event. And speaking of the King of the Ring event, ladies and gentlemen, it will feature a matchup between the leader of the club, Finn Balor, and the Intercontinental Champion, Drew McIntyre. Now, why do I bring that up? Well, tonight, Drew McIntyre will be in action against a member of the club, but not particularly Finn Balor. No, he's going up against the phenomenal one in AJ Styles. Okay, on the last episode of SmackDown, Drew McIntyre came out to the ring and got an up-close look at Finn Balor as he was in action against Ricochet. Following the matchup, AJ Styles rushed down to the ring and attacked Drew McIntyre, hitting him with a Styles Clash before it was Finn Balor with the 1916. However, tonight, Drew McIntyre wants a little bit of revenge on AJ Styles as he is heading towards the King of the Ring event. And ladies and gentlemen, I can't wait to see what happens as the Scottish psychopath, the Intercontinental Champion, Drew McIntyre, looks to take on the phenomenal one, AJ Styles. These two are very different competitors. McIntyre, he likes to rely on his raw power and his strength, not just within his muscles, but within his heart, his will and determination that gets the job done and that keeps that Intercontinental title wrapped around his waist. Whereas AJ Styles, he is more of a technical competitor, but he's not afraid to go a bit dirty, you could say. He's not afraid to take some cheap shots, especially since joining the club about a year ago at the last King of the Ring event, as a matter of fact. Okay, so that King of the Ring event is very special to the club. It was formed. Okay, the club was formed at the King of the Ring event a few years ago. AJ Styles joined the club last year. And perhaps Finn Balor could see an important victory for himself against Drew McIntyre as he looks to take home the IC title. But right now, McIntyre, he cannot focus on Finn Balor. He cannot focus on his match at the King of the Ring event. He has to focus on AJ Styles. He has to focus on tonight's opening contest because we've got a hell of a show to get through. Okay, we've got Drew McIntyre taking on AJ Styles. We have got Big E taking on Andrade Cien Almas as the King of the Ring tournament continues. We have the War Raiders in tag team action against EC3 and Slater. Okay, we've got an announcement from Edge later on. We've got Basler versus Sane. We've got Black versus Rollins. Ladies and gentlemen, you are in for a hot night of action here on the Blue Brand as we lead into the King of the Ring event. And we're kicking it off right now as you just heard the bell ring. We are kicking it off with McIntyre and Styles as Styles immediately looks to taunt the Intercontinental Champion with that universal sign of the club, the Too Sweet, by AJ Styles, and McIntyre perhaps taking a moment to stare down Finn Balor before charging towards AJ Styles, going for a clothesline, ducking underneath. Does AJ Styles not once, but twice before hitting a massive forearm strike. Oh, and then a drop kick there off the rebound, and AJ Styles is immediately perhaps in the head of Drew McIntyre. Oh, and there you see shooting down perhaps Drew McIntyre and his chances of leaving here tonight with a victory. However, Drew McIntyre, he is looking to force his way here tonight into that winning bracket here on SmackDown. Okay, he wants to take home the winning prize money. However, right now, it's AJ Styles who looks to take away, McIntyre's chances at earning himself a victory. However, there you see McIntyre looks to strike back here, ladies and gentlemen. But AJ Styles now, with a few strikes in his own right, very back and forth fight we are already seeing here. AJ Styles, however, perhaps having the upper hand as he sends McIntyre to the outside. And AJ Styles now taking the opportunity to taunt the Intercontinental Champion, perhaps knowing that if he were to get a victory over Drew McIntyre, well then maybe he could be in line for some bigger things here on SmackDown. We haven't really seen too much of AJ Styles, I will admit. Since the club joined SmackDown, we've been more familiar with Finn Balor, Luke Gallows, and Carl Anderson. during their time here on the blue brand, as McIntyre charges towards him, goes for another clothesline, no. Instead he gets caught with a massive boot right to the stomach. However, McIntyre, there you see the Scottish Fury perhaps boiling up within him, as he looks to take down Styles. However, AJ right now, AJ, oh, there you see! Perhaps looking for some sort of a gut-wrench suplex, a pump handle slam, however, instead, it's Drew McIntyre who gets out of the hold, planting his feet to the ground before planting AJ Styles to the ground, and then a few punches right into the nose, right into the jaw of Styles. As McIntyre now picks him up, brings him back to his feet. You can probably see the anger within Drew McIntyre right now, perhaps remembering that attack, perhaps remembering that Styles clash on the last episode of SmackDown, and perhaps being pissed off here as the Intercontinental Champion looks to fight back against AJ. However, oh wait a second, AJ Styles. AJ Styles, there you see, with a bit of a cheap shot, sending him, oh, shoulder first, into the turnbuckle post, and now stomping away on McIntyre. And you gotta think Finn Balor, he's gotta really love that sight of Drew McIntyre on the ground, as AJ Styles stands over him, wondering what to do next. He knows that it's going to take a lot to keep Drew McIntyre down, and perhaps, wait a second, perhaps he may be looking to tap him out here. He's got him now. He's got the calf killer, the calf crusher out of nowhere, the calf crusher out of nowhere, working over the leg of McIntyre. Okay, perhaps AJ Styles, subscribe to the theory, if you can't stand, you can't fight, and Drew McIntyre now is in agonizing pain. He's in agonizing pain, however, he gets the back elbow right to the spine, the upper spine of AJ Styles. However, you have to think that that calf, that knee, that entire leg of Drew McIntyre may have been severely injured there in this matchup, as he launches him across the ring, looking to use his arm strength to power through this matchup. And oh, wait a second. Wait a second! There you see, perhaps that's an example of it. As McIntyre launches him across the ring. Launching him across the ring. Oh, wait a second. Wait a second. There you see AJ Styles now going for a cover here. 1, 2. No, and only a 2 count. Trying to go for a quick roll-up victory. But McIntyre kicks out before whipping him into the mat, as he goes for a kick in his own right. But AJ Styles, the more speedy competitor, I would argue, gets out of that position. As he goes for a punch, does McIntyre, and it connects beautifully. He's got AJ on the ropes now. He sends him to the outside. And perhaps McIntyre could be looking to fly here tonight on SmackDown. And you can hear the crowd chanting, "This is awesome," as the big Scottish psychopath flies through the air, crashing down on AJ. Okay, I would expect that from AJ Styles. But Drew McIntyre, perhaps looking to showcase to the world that he can too fly here tonight on SmackDown. No, wait a second. It looks like he got a glance at his future challenger. And AJ Styles, with that moment of hesitation by Drew McIntyre, takes advantage. Phenomenal forearm from inside the ring all the way to the outside onto McIntyre. McIntyre now gets thrown back into the ring. AJ goes for the cover here. 1, 2. No, and only a 2 count there, getting the shoulder up. Drew McIntyre gets the shoulder up. AJ Styles following a phenomenal form to the outside. He can't believe it. You can see him just stomping away on the champion. But there you see, wait a second. McIntyre at the last possible millisecond, rolling out of harm's way. Rolling out of the running knee by AJ Styles. And McIntyre looking to cave the chest in with those chops. And oh, perhaps looking to cave in the canvas as well. AJ's down. McIntyre's in the corner. Could we see the Claymore kick connecting? The Claymore nearly kicking AJ Styles' head off. 1, 2. No, and only a 2 count there. Okay, only a select few of competitors have kicked out of that Claymore. And AJ Styles can now add himself to the list. What the hell? Well, Drew McIntyre, he can't believe it. He's looking down at Finn Balor. I don't think either of them can believe it. As AJ Styles gets back to his feet, and there you see McIntyre with a few punches right to the face. I don't even know if AJ knows where he is right now, following that thunderous Claymore kick. Nearly taking his damn head off, nearly launching it into the fourth row of the audience here. As McIntyre, there you see, well, perhaps desperate. Perhaps he's got something in mind. As McIntyre, he picks him up. McIntyre picks him up, and now they're both going. Oh, wait a second. Wait a second. Drew McIntyre gets countered in AJ! AJ, how the hell did he pull that off? McIntyre perhaps looking to crash down all the way to the floor with AJ Styles on his shoulders. And yet, AJ Styles, at the last possible moment, gets out of it. Hurricane Rana up the top turnbuckle. McIntyre just barely getting back to his feet. And AJ Styles with a Styles Clash. 1, 2, 3, and AJ Styles pins Drew McIntyre. And you have to think, what must Finn Balor be thinking? What must Drew McIntyre may be thinking, if he's even conscious? Okay, Drew McIntyre just suffered a massive loss before an even bigger matchup at the King of the Ring event. Okay, you can't say that he didn't try. However, one massive mistake. He went up to the top turnbuckle. They call it high risk for a reason, and AJ Styles earns himself that high reward. Hurricane Rana off the top. What an excellent counter before hitting the Styles Clash. And to kick off this episode of SmackDown, the Club are on top of the world with AJ Styles getting the job done against Drew McIntyre. Well, either way though, ladies and gentlemen, as Finn Balor looks up at AJ Styles, you have to think that he can't wait for his matchup against McIntyre at the King of the Ring event. However, we still have an entire show to get through here on SmackDown, and it should be a hell of a good one, as Kairi Sane, ladies and gentlemen, will be looking to wage war here tonight against the Queen of Spades in Shayna Basler. Of course, not only that, but we've also got the rated R superstar, Edge. He is going to have something to say later on tonight about the SmackDown Tag Team title scene as we lead into the King of the Ring event. What will he have to say? What will his announcement be? Well, you're going to have to sit back, relax, and wait for what Edge will have to say. However, you better sit back and relax and wait for this massive main event as well. Seth Rollins, in his return match on SmackDown, is getting a matchup against Aleister Black, the WWE Champion. Will Seth Rollins be able to take advantage of Aleister Black, who is perhaps more preoccupied with his match against The Fiend at the King of the Ring event? Or will Aleister Black be able to get the job done, leading into that massive matchup between himself and The Fiend? However, right now, there you see, they are the Tag Team Champions here on SmackDown. Speaking of the tag division, here are the champions. We've got The New Day, Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston, and Big E. All three men walking to the ring. However, it's only Big E who is in action as the King of the Ring tournament continues on. Big E is looking to square up against Andrade Cien Almas. The winner of this matchup will be going on to the King of the Ring event to fight Johnny Gargano. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, either way though, whether it's Big E or Andrade, I can tell you this, Johnny Gargano is looking to earn himself a victory. However, both Big E and Andrade Cien Almas will not give him the opportunity to earn that victory. Okay, everybody here in WWE have their eyes on the King of the Ring tournament. From Raw, Kyle O'Reilly and Shinsuke Nakamura will be competing as they head into the finals. From SmackDown, it's either going to be Gargano versus Andrade or Gargano versus Big E. The King of the Ring tournament continues, ladies and gentlemen. And I can't wait to see what happens as SmackDown rolls on and rolls ahead with what should be an excellent go-home show for the King of the Ring event. However, as Andrade Cien Almas climbs up the steps, you gotta think that he's thinking about his victory on the last episode of SmackDown. Sure, perhaps you could say it was because of The Fiend, but Andrade Cien Almas nonetheless does have a victory against the WWE Champion Aleister Black. Sure, like I said, The Fiend, he came out and attacked. I say it came out and attacked Aleister Black during the matchup, but nonetheless, it was Andrade Cien Almas who kept Aleister's shoulders to the mat. However, right now, he's got to do the very same thing against Big E if he wants to move ahead in the King of the Ring tournament, as Big E and Andrade Cien Almas take this opportunity to stare at one another. However, there you see, wait a second, Andrade seemingly having something in mind here. One. No, only a one count there, trying to go for a roll-up victory immediately, but Big E, the big man, powers out of it. Zelina Vega watching on from ringside. Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods watching from ringside in the corner of Big E. However, right now, wait a second, Andrade goes for another roll-up pinfall attempt. One. No, only a one count again, as Andrade here in the white and black takes on Big E in the blue and black attire before perhaps painting Andrade black and blue. 1, 2... No, and only a 2 count following a massive belly-to-belly suplex, slamming him into the mat. Oh god, and then a massive overhand chop. A massive overhand smack to the chest by Big E. As now he goes, perhaps going for another belly-to-belly suplex there. Andrade Cien Almas, however, counters, sends him across the ring, charges towards him, but instead goes face first, into the turnbuckle post. As he goes for the kick, does Big E, who counters. As now, wait a second, he's got him again with a massive belly-to-belly. And now Big E is on fire here on SmackDown. 1, 2, no, and only a 2 count. Big E looking to keep Andrade Cien Almas down as he is feeling it here. He's fired up here on SmackDown. The crowd watching on. Andrade Cien Almas, however, catches him with a kick right to the thigh before going for a massive forearm. But instead, it's Big E who counters with a few heavy-hitting punches there. As Big E now sends him again into the corner. Like I mentioned before, Zelina Vega watching on. Very close now to the action. As Big E goes for a kick, instead gets a massive boot to the face by Andrade Cien Almas, who gets taken down there. Earlier on, we saw AJ Styles earn himself a massive victory against Drew McIntyre. One of these two men, however, will be earning themselves a victory as well as they look ahead to the King of the Ring event. 1, 2, no, and only a 2 count. And right now, my money is on Big E, who is absolutely dominating this matchup here tonight. No, wait a second. Speaking of Zelina Vega, there you see Zelina Vega perhaps taking this opportunity to talk a bit of trash now to Big E, perhaps distracting the big man, who turns around right into an Irish whip. Oh god, and then a massive running forearm, and now Andrade Cien Almas connecting. The double knees out of nowhere, nearly crushing the skull of the big man. 1, 2, no, and only a 2 count there. Following this matchup, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to tell you all about what we're going to be seeing, okay? On the last episode of SmackDown, Rhea Ripley made a shocking appearance. And following this matchup, we will be getting an opportunity to know more about what Rhea Ripley is all about. However, right now, perhaps it's Andrade Cien Almas who's all about, progressing that King of the Ring tournament! Arm trap DDT, 1, 2, no, only a 2 count. I mentioned before, perhaps Big E has dominated most of this matchup. However, that arm trap DDT that has put away so many other competitors could not put away the big man just yet. However, Big E, he doesn't even want to get himself another arm trap DDT. Okay, he wants to keep fighting. He wants to keep battling here as Andrade slowly looks to drag him across the ring. But Big E, with a few back elbows right to the stomach. Oh god, and then an overhand chop again. And another one for good measure. As Big E now, oh god, again. These chops echoing throughout the arena. Goes for a punch, but instead gets caught with a massive punch in his own right. However, now it's a punch connecting there. Back and forth, right hands by both Andrade and Big E. As Big E, oh, sends him over. Big E has something in mind as he flies to the outside. Both men go crushing to the outside, and that just shows you how much the King of the Ring tournament means to both of these competitors. Big E with the spear through the ropes, crashing all the way to the outside. And the cover, 1, 2. No, and again, only a 2 count. As Big E, my god, is still fighting. Andrade Cien almost kicking out of everything here. I don't know what it's going to take. Perhaps one big ending is all it will take for Big E to get the job done, but instead he chooses a belly-to-belly to slam his opponent into the mat. But perhaps that'll be enough here. 1, 2. No, and only a 2 count again, and it's still not enough. Big E desperately wants that 3 count. He desperately wants to earn himself that victory. What will it take here? Oh, for the former challenger of the WWE title. Oh, wait a second. Andrade Cien all of a sudden nowhere. Arm trap DDT. 1, 2, 3 out of nowhere. Andrade Cien almost moves ahead in the King of the Ring tournament. But out of nowhere, he connects. My god. I'm not too sure what to say. Okay, Big E, I would argue, like I mentioned before, he dominated most of that matchup. However, after taking not 1 but 2 arm trap DDTs, how could you expect him to kick out? As Andrade Cien Almas now looks ahead to the King of the Ring event, as he is set to go one-on-one with Johnny Gargano. Well, it seems as though Rhea Ripley has decided to make it known exactly who she is. She is a powerful, she is a hard-hitting, and she is a brutal competitor. And as we saw in the last episode of SmackDown, Rhea Ripley has her eyes set on Alexa Bliss and the SmackDown Women's title. However, speaking of the last episode of SmackDown, it was Heath Slater during that episode who went toe-to-toe with Edge. However, because of an attack by EC3 right before the matchup backstage, Heath Slater got the job done against Edge in his first match back on SmackDown in many, many years. So, tonight, it seems as though Edge has perhaps decided to give EC3 and Heath Slater another matchup. This time against the first ever Raw Tag Team Champions in the War Raiders. Now, I'll admit, the War Raiders haven't had too much success here on SmackDown since coming over to the blue brand. Hell, I would argue EC3 and Slater have almost unbelievably had more success than these two incredible tag team competitors. However, the bell is about to ring, and EC3 and Heath Slater are going to realize that they are in the ring with the War Raiders. So the question is, will EC3 and Heath Slater somehow earn themselves another unbelievable victory, or will the War Raiders prove to be a dominant duo and perhaps finally see this as an opportunity to turn themselves around and perhaps charge ahead with a potential future shot at being the top tag team here on SmackDown? However, right now, it's Rowe who kicks off this matchup with EC3. EC3 charges towards him, and Rowe immediately takes him down, but EC3 now only a one count, trying to steal the victory there, just like Andrade Cien almost a few moments ago, and to kick off that matchup between himself and Big E, going for a few roll-up pinfall attempts. However, EC3 now sends Rowe to the outside. Hanson, however, watches on at the apron, with Heath Slater at the opposing apron. Watching on with EC3, deciding to talk some smack. Perhaps trying to play with Rowe psychologically. Perhaps trying to belittle Rowe here tonight verbally. However, right now it's not about what you can say. It matters if you can back up those words. And right now, Rowe immediately tags out to Hanson, who, makes him eat that massive maneuver. Dropping EC3 with the full body weight of Hanson acting as a wall here tonight to take down EC3, the former WWE Champion EC3. As now Rowe, wait a second, launches him into the air before Hanson slams him down. 1, 2, no, and only a 2 count, a massive power slam, emphasis on the power, as Rowe, as I just mentioned, launches EC3, into the air before being taken down to the mat. Goes for another pinfall attempt. Here, 1, 2. No, and only a 2 count. I'm stuttering over my words. However, right now it's Rowe. Oh, God. With a massive shot there right to the skull. Perhaps looking to make EC3 leave here tonight, stuttering in his own right. As EC3 gets back to his feet, Rowe has him up. Fireman's carry position. He's got something in mind here. Wait a second. But it seems as though EC3 gets out of it. Not 1, not 2, but a trifecta of back elbows before rushing ahead. Once again, perhaps showing off his cowardly nature. Charging towards Heath Slater, who takes a massive forearm, and he's still standing. And now he's deciding to taunt his opponent again. Okay, perhaps not a smart strategy by Heath Slater. Just keep taunting Rowe, who takes him down with a discus forearm strike. And now there you see, it's Rowe who sends him back down into the mat. As Rowe waits for him to get back to his feet. Does Heath Slater, however. He does indeed get back to those feet as he goes for another pinfall attempt here. 1, 2. No, and only a 2 count. Roll up after roll up, pinfall attempt after pinfall attempt by the duo of EC3 and Heath Slater. Wait a second. But Rowe now catches him and sends him down into the mat there. Massive belly to belly by the big man. As Hanson watches on. As EC3 watches on. Desperately perhaps wanting to save Heath Slater from what could be a devastating tag team maneuver as he tags him out there. Does Rowe before there you see crushing Heath Slater in the corner. Not once but twice. As the War Raiders here continue their onslaught. And you gotta think Edge is watching this one with a big old grin on his face. As Heath Slater is not looking too good as he gets slammed into the mat again. And now, Hanson, he's fired up here. He's looking down at him. He wants him to get back to his feet as he stomps his own in the corner. As now, he's got something in mind with a belly Dynamax suplex trapping the arms. With Heath Slater perhaps trapped as well. Hansen with a cartwheel feeling the energy of the crowd. But now it's EC3 who feels the smack of his hand. Oh, wait a second. He charges towards him with a clothesline, but instead gets cut. With a kick to the stomach before a kick right to the head, taking him down. As EC3 gets sent into the corner, it's Hansen and Rowe who are absolutely dominating this matchup here. They are the first ever Raw Tag Team Champions for a reason! And the War Raiders are showcasing why! With a duo of strikes there, Hansen and Rowe continuing the onslaught. EC3 crawling towards Heath Slater, and Rowe is almost begging him to tag him out, and he does. EC3 tags out indeed, and Heath Slater now, charges towards him, but instead he tastes the knee of Rowe there before being sent into the corner. Big tag there to Hansen, and now it could be over with the fallout there. 1, 2, and a 3 count there. I almost thought EC3 was going to make it. However, instead it's the War Raiders who nonetheless get the job done with a very dominating display here of what they can do as a duo. However, here on SmackDown, you have to think that the competition in the tag team division, like EC3 and Heath Slater, okay, like the Club, like the New Day, like all these other incredible tag teams, you have to think that they were watching this one very closely as the War Raiders showcase their own dominance here on SmackDown. However, of course, ladies and gentlemen, still to come. It's the massive main event that we've all been waiting for. Seth Rollins, who's getting ready backstage, is looking to take on Aleister Black, the WWE Champion, ahead of his match against The Fiend. However, as they get ready backstage, I want to turn your attention now over to the Rated R Superstar, the General Manager, Edge. Well, it seems as though the King of the Ring pay-per-view event just keeps getting bigger and better, as the SmackDown Tag Team titles will be on the line, with the Club taking on the New Day. However, apparently there have been some stipulations added to that tag team matchup. The Club and the New Day, they will be battling in some 2-on-2 action, specifically 2-on-2 action, because you see, I guess nobody other than the legal participants in the matchup will be allowed at ringside. And also, it'll be an elimination style matchup. I can't wait to see what happens at the King of the Ring event, as the SmackDown Tag Team titles are put on the line. However, right now, coming up next, it's Shayna Basler taking on Kairi Sane. Okay, these two women have recently not been looking too good here on SmackDown. Okay, Shayna Basler, a few episodes ago, lost in a #1 contenders match against Candice LeRae before tapping her out on the very next episode. But either way, though, Shayna Basler, she hasn't been looking too good. Kairi Sane, she hasn't been looking too good, or at least she hasn't necessarily been on SmackDown in a few episodes. So both women, they want to compete here tonight, and that's exactly what we're going to be seeing. Because, of course, both women are looking at that SmackDown Women's Championship. And with the SmackDown Women's title now without a #1 contender, you have to think that everyone in that locker room is gunning for a shot at Alexa's title. Whether it be newcomers like Rhea Ripley, former champions like Ember Moon, or perhaps one of these two women in Shayna Basler and Kairi Sane. Everybody wants a shot at that SmackDown Women's title. And I can't wait to see what these two women can do to prove to the world that they should be in that title matchup. It was immediately right out of the gate. It's Shayna Basler taunting Kairi Sane, who goes for another forearm strike, but instead gets caught with a massive kick right to the leg. As now, Kairi Sane charges towards her, connecting there, taking down Shayna Basler. And now here we go, the action already. Bungling over with a few strikes back and forth between these two competitors. Okay, both women are fairly similar in my opinion when it comes to how you would describe their in-ring action. They are both hard-hitting and expert grapplers. Both women also have dangerous submission holds in their arsenal, with Shayna having that Kirifuda clutch, and Kairi Sane having the anchor. However, I would argue, even though you could describe them fairly similarly, they're also fairly different competitors, and we're going to perhaps watch those differences here tonight unfold as Shayna Basler takes a drop kick and gets an escape, gets an idea to roll to the outside to perhaps create some breathing room between herself and the Pirate Princess. However, the Queen of Spades, there you see, not worried about nicknames, perhaps worried about her knee right now, as she goes knee first into the top turnbuckle, and now immediately takes down Kairi Sane before slamming her down again. As Shayna Basler, with a duo of gut-wrench suplexes, taking down Kairi Sane and now just laughing at her opponent, waiting for her to get up before a massive shot to the gut and then a few kicks for good measure. Working over the legs, working over the body here. However, right now Kairi Sane, as always, is trying her best to stay on her feet, trying her best to always get back up. However, right now it's Shayna Basler who is not allowing her the chance to fight back, even though she may be standing on her feet, even though right now she's standing on her tippy toes trying to keep her balance. Instead, Shayna Basler sends her to the outside with those brutal knees, trying to break the damn nose of Kairi Sane. Here on SmackDown, these two competitors, ladies and gentlemen, have been looking to prove their worth. And right now you are seeing these two women, look to continue to prove their worth, as Kairi Sane now being sent to the barricade over and over again, with Shayna Basler using the environment to her advantage here in this match against Kairi, as Kairi Sane. Okay, I've been a big fan of Kairi Sane for a while now, but I'll say this, she is not looking too good. Not looking too good at all. As Shayna Basler, once again, over and over again, just connects with those punches on Kairi Sane, right to the upper back of her opponent. You have to think Alexa Bliss is perhaps watching this one very closely. She is the SmackDown Women's Champion after all. Perhaps everybody in that women's locker room is watching this one very closely. I don't know why they wouldn't. These two are expert competitors. But right now, Kairi Sane is not looking too good as Shayna Basler looks to fight back here. Wait a second. Kairi Sane now connecting with a trifecta of lariats. Taking down Shayna Basler. And perhaps she has found herself an opportunity. Here. As Kairi waits for Shayna to get back to her feet. Shayna, perhaps a bit loopy here. Perhaps not too sure what to make of this. As Kairi, over and over again, with the forearms. Oh, goes for a spinning back fist. Instead, it's Shayna Basler who catches her. Kicks her in the stomach now. And now a gut-wrench suplex again. And again. And you can almost hear the joy being sucked out of the arena here. 1, 2. No, and only a 2 count. Now, even though I may not be a big fan of Shayna Basler's attitude, I will say that she is an impressive competitor. And you're seeing it here tonight. She's basically dominating Kairi Sane. Kairi Sane, sure, she's gotten a few good shots in, but right now it's Shayna, who is undeniably looking to destroy Kairi Sane here tonight. With a massive kick right there to the side. Goes for another one. Kairi, however, catches her. Sends her into the corner. As now Kairi Sane, perhaps seeing this as an opportunity, puts her up onto that top turnbuckle here. The crowd watching on. Shayna Basler in a dangerous predicament. Perhaps Kairi could be going for a bit of a Hail Mary here. Off the top! Both women go crashing into the mat with a super back suplex. Taking Shayna Basler down, and Kairi Sane waits for her to get back to her feet, only so she can hit a massive forearm and a spinning back fist. And perhaps this could be Kairi's opportunity. Shayna Basler's been dominating, but Kairi Sane could be looking to put an end to this matchup here from the top. No! Nobody home! Shayna Basler moves out of the way. Catches her here in the Kirifuda clutch. Moving out of the insane elbow. Kairi Sane, she's got nowhere to go. She's dead center in the middle of the ring. Shayna Basler's got her. Oh, but it seems as though Kairi Sane gets out of it with those back elbows. She gets out of it. However, I'm surprised she's still conscious following the Kirifuda clutch as she pushes her towards the ropes there, trying to fight back with those strikes. But now it's Shayna Basler with a few strikes in her own right. Kicks her in the stomach, and now again has her in the clutch. It didn't work the first time. Let's try the second. She's got her again out of nowhere. Kairi Sane is in the middle of the ring. Kairi Sane, can she hold on? And she does. Again with those back elbows. Getting out of the hold. No, wait a second. Perhaps going for another kick to the stomach. Does Shayna Basler. But Kairi Sane fights back. Here. Oh, but there you see a bit slow to get to the corner. However, Shayna Basler now. Perhaps caught here in the middle of the ring. Shayna Basler, however, wait a second, plants her feet to the mat. Kairi perhaps going for a roll-up pinfall attempt, but Shayna Basler strikes back there. Forearm shot, but oh my god! Forearm shot before a massive spinning back fist. Kairi Sane feeling it, feeling the adrenaline. Pointing to her elbow, perhaps looking for a middle rope. Insane elbow, which connects right to the heart of Shayna. 1, 2. No, only a 2 count. Shayna Basler has forced Kairi Sane in this underdog position, and she almost pulled out an underdog victory here. But Shayna gets the shoulder up. As Kairi Sane looks across the ring, wondering what the hell to do. Both women staring each other down, exhausted. Both women staring each other down in pain as Kairi Sane connects with a forearm. And it seems as though we're right back to the start of the matchup. Back and forth strikes perhaps by both competitors. As now, it's Kairi Sane with a kick right to the stomach and another one for good measure. The crowd watching on in full support of the Pirate Princess. Whereas Shayna Basler now looks to regain control here. She doesn't care about what the fans think. She cares about what she can do here tonight to prove to the world why she is a dangerous competitor. With a kick right to the leg. But before a punch right to the gut. And now back and forth, strike for strike. Goes for a running kick to Shayna. Goes for a running kick, but instead, a massive punch right to the back of the skull. Right to the back of the skull, and now Shayna Basler. Shayna out of nowhere. The Kirifuda clutch. And it seems as though the third time's the charm. Kairi Sane and Shayna Basler with an unexpected war perhaps here on SmackDown. Going back and forth. However, nonetheless, Shayna Basler gets the job done. Kairi Sane, she hit her with the inside elbow. Shayna Basler getting out of that pinfall predicament by Kairi. As now there you see her celebrating the victory here in this match against Kairi Sane. Shayna now looks out at the crowd. You gotta think what's going through her mind right now as she leaves here tonight with a massive win over Kairi. Oh, come on. No, wait a second. Come on. You already beat her. No. Oh, come on. Well, I didn't expect her to be getting that chair so she could sit down on it. Come on. This is, oh God, unnecessary. After such a back and forth brawl. Here tonight. Is this really necessary? Shayna Basler launches Kairi Sane back into the ring. She has the steel chair in her hand, but come on, this is unneeded here. Over and over again, wailing on the lower back and on the stomach of Kairi Sane. Come on. Well, Shayna Basler, I guess, deciding to use this as an opportunity to send a message. She just told Edge that she wants, quote, a real fight. I mean, after that incredibly back and forth matchup, you'd think that Shayna Basler would be satisfied with that if she wants, quote, a fight. But this attack was unneeded. Was unnecessary here tonight. However, ladies and gentlemen, I want to turn your attention over to the King of the Ring pay-per-view event. Okay, we've got an incredible card lined up for you. As we learned earlier on, Johnny Gargano versus Andrade Cien Almas and Shinsuke Nakamura versus Kyle O'Reilly, as all four competitors look to head towards the finals of the King of the Ring tournament. We have got Aleister Black versus The Fiend. We have got the SmackDown Tag Team titles on the line, the Raw Women's title, the Raw Tag Team titles, the Intercontinental title. Okay, it's going to be a night full of hot action, and you're not going to want to miss it. Saturday, April 17th, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific time. It's going to be a hell of a good one, and I can't wait to watch it all with you. However, I'm also excited to watch the next episode of SmackDown as Rhea Ripley makes her SmackDown in-ring debut against Candice LeRae. It should be a hell of a matchup there, and I can't wait to see what Candice LeRae can do against SmackDown's newest female combatant. However, ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for the main event of the evening, and I can't wait to see what happens. And you can hear the entire crowd screaming for Seth freaking Rollins, who is back, and perhaps, according to him, better than ever. He says that the old Seth Rollins is gone. This version of Seth Rollins that has lost time and time again, who was always so close to being the top guy, but never quite grabbing that brass ring. Seth Rollins, he promises that that old version of him is gone, and he is looking to grab the brass ring tonight if he can defeat the current WWE Champion in Aleister Black. Of course, this is a non-title matchup, but you gotta think Seth Rollins, he is very focused on earning himself a victory. Okay, Aleister Black, he's the WWE Champion for a reason. He has beaten some of the best we have here in WWE. Kevin Owens, The Undertaker, and perhaps, following this matchup, Seth Rollins. However, we're gonna have to find out if Aleister can, just like with so many other competitors, if Aleister can kick Rollins' head clean off with that black mass, or if it's Black's face that gets smushed into the ground with a curb stomp. Either way, though, you guys want to strap in. It's going to be a bumpy ride, and it's going to be a hell of a fight. Okay, this is Seth's first match back since his leave of absence. A lot has changed here on SmackDown since he's been gone. For one, Roman Reigns, well, we haven't seen him since Roman's match with The Fiend at the Money in the Bank event. Okay, this monster apparently ripped Roman Reigns to shreds, and we haven't seen him since. Seth Rollins, he's coming back alone, on his own, and he's going up against Aleister Black. He can no longer rely on guys like Roman Reigns, because tonight, he has to rely on his own strength. Is he better than ever? Is he back and better than ever? That is the question. However, Aleister Black has an answer. We're going to find out, however, if Aleister Black's answer is the correct one, or if Seth Rollins can prove Aleister Black wrong. Aleister, he believes that Seth Rollins will lose here tonight, because Aleister is focused. Aleister Black, he is here as the WWE Champion. Aleister Black, he is unlike any other competitor we've seen here on SmackDown. Okay, he is the top guy on SmackDown for a reason. He is a hard-hitting, technical, and overall dangerous combatant. Seth Rollins, he is, as well, a hard-hitting, technical, and dangerous combatant. This is a dream match for many. Okay, this can main event WrestleMania, but tonight, it's main eventing SmackDown. Seth Rollins and Aleister Black, ladies and gentlemen, similar color scheme with the black and gold. Of course, Aleister Black, a few moments ago, he also had a bit more black and gold around his waist with the WWE Championship, that very same title that The Fiend, the monster, this destroyer, Abby's destroyer, looks to take with him. Take with it. As Aleister Black takes down Seth Rollins. And you gotta think perhaps Aleister Black, perhaps he's a bit too focused on The Fiend here tonight. He's gotta focus on Seth Rollins. He can't focus on this monster. However, at the same time, Seth Rollins, he's focused on earning himself a victory. However, he hasn't competed in a matchup in quite some time. So perhaps Seth could be walking into this one with a bit of ring rust. As Aleister Black, he is supremely focused. And he is supremely ready for a brawl. He wants to showcase to The Fiend that he is not afraid, and that he is perhaps the best competitor we have here on SmackDown. Seth Rollins, he wants to showcase to the world that he is back, and that he is the true best. Now that he's gotten his break, now that he's gotten his chance to reevaluate his career. But right now, Aleister Black, Sends him across the ring. German suplex, taking him down in the cover now. 1, 2. No, and only a 2 count. Bit slow by the referee, and yet still a 2 count. Perhaps if the referee was a bit faster, maybe following that German suplex, the match would already be over. And I would argue it'd be a bit of a disappointing matchup, to say the least. However, nonetheless, Seth Rollins, he gets back to his feet. He kicks out as he pushes Aleister Black off, who has already been dominating this matchup thus far in the early moments. However, right now, Seth Rollins, perhaps trying to talk smack to Aleister. Oh, with a massive kick there, a massive single leg drop kick connecting on the champion, who takes him down. As he goes for a kick, does Aleister. However, Seth Rollins goes for a strike. And now here we go. You don't want to get in a striking match with Aleister Black, and that's exactly why. He's a very unique combatant here on SmackDown. And Seth Rollins is about to learn just that. As Aleister Black looks down and, oh, well, there you see. Taking the opportunity not to fly to the outside, but to play with Rollins psychologically. Aleister Black, he's already, been played with psychologically over these past few episodes of SmackDown with The Fiend. But right now, it's Seth Rollins with a knee to the skull. 1. No, only a 1 count there. A knee to the skull springboard connection by Seth Rollins as he's looking to battle here. Aleister Black, however, charges towards him, goes for a running forearm strike. This is the main event of the evening, ladies and gentlemen. Big time main event before an even bigger King of the Ring event. And Aleister Black sends him into the turnbuckles, and now is looking down at Seth Rollins. Aleister understands that it's going to take a lot to keep Seth Rollins down as he goes for a kick. However, Rollins understands the very same thing about Aleister Black. He has kicked out of so much as Aleister Black. Okay, he is a top competitor for a reason. He is perhaps WWE's next phenom for a reason. He wants to protect the WWE at all costs. Seth Rollins, however, he wants to showcase to the world why he should be the protector, why he should be the top of SmackDown. However, right now, it's Aleister Black with a kick, and now a few more for good measure. And it's those dangerously educated feats by Aleister Black that will get him the job done if he can continue with these hard-hitting kicks. Seth Rollins, he hasn't looked too good thus far, and perhaps Aleister, oh wait a second, perhaps Aleister looks to take advantage of that. He goes for a knee right to the jaw. Seth Rollins, however, very quickly moving out of the way. As Rollins with a kick over and over again right to the stomach before sending him to the outside. And perhaps Rollins has something in mind here. Rollins, he's feeling the energy. He's firing himself up. Oh, but Aleister Black catches him. Seth perhaps a bit too slow with the dive. Aleister Black connects with a punch, catching him off guard here. And a running knee strike out of the corner. In the cover now. 1, 2. No, and only a 2 count. As Seth Rollins gets the shoulder up, Aleister Black looks across at Rollins. Both men waging war here on SmackDown. As he goes for a punch, but instead, it's Aleister who catches him there. Oh, but now it's Rollins who catches him. Big Bulldog connecting. Big Bulldog and a curb stomp out of nowhere! 1, 2! No, and only a 2 count curb stomp out of freaking nowhere! Doesn't get the job done. And perhaps Seth Rollins has finally found it within him to continue the fight. And oh god, wait a second, Seth Rollins. Well, Seth Rollins, you can see the anger all over the face of Rollins over and over again. Okay, I get it. He kicked out, but he didn't need to go for all those stomps to the chest, trying to cave his damn chest in here. And perhaps Rollins, with a bit more aggression. 1, 2. No, and only a 2 count. With a bit of aggression there, trying to stomp Aleister down. Yet after all those stomps, it's still only a 2 count on the WWE Champion, as Rollins, perhaps a future WWE Champion in his own right, looks to fight back here against Aleister, who goes for a strike. Completely misses, however. A rare miss by Aleister. Oh, but he doesn't miss that one with a forearm. He goes for the DDT. Seth Rollins, however, counters. Big punch to the stomach there. And a knee for good measure. This is the main event of SmackDown, ladies and gentlemen. This is a high-stakes bout. Both men have a lot to prove here. Aleister wants to prove that he is a dangerous competitor. Seth Rollins wants to prove that he's back and better than ever. However, right now it's Aleister who gets sent into the corner. Buckle bomb connecting. And the cover. 1, 2. No, and only a 2 count again. Only a 2 count. But wait a second, Aleister, perhaps fighting through the pain here. Perhaps trying to fight through the pain. Perhaps trying to showcase that he has no weakness. Perhaps trying to show the Fiend, show everybody on SmackDown why he is the WWE Champion. Oh, and he connects. What the? What? Wait, Braun Strowman is here. Aleister Black. Braun Strowman hasn't been drafted. Sure, he was here last year before Mania, but he wasn't drafted over. What the hell is Braun Strowman doing? Are you serious? After all of that? What the hell is Braun Strowman doing? This is the main event of SmackDown. He hasn't been drafted to SmackDown. And Strowman looks at the WWE Champion and he connects. Power Slam connecting by Braun. What the hell is he doing? Braun. I can say that I'm a little more than confused right now. He just power slammed our WWE Champion into oblivion. As Seth can't take his eyes off of Braun right now. Braun, however, not attacking Seth. Not attacking Seth. What the hell, Seth Rollins? What the hell is Seth Rollins doing? Seth just had a curb stomp on the WWE. What the hell is he doing? Braun Strowman and Seth Rollins. What the? Seth Rollins looked like he just told Braun Strowman something, and Strowman just sends Aleister to the outside. What the hell is going on? What in the hell is going on right now? The crowd look confused. I can't say I'm not confused. Okay, the crowd booing this. I can't. Did Seth? What in the hell just happened? Why did Braun Strowman just help Seth Rollins?